Chapter 8.1%. Okay, in this section we will learn how to convert a percent into fraction and or decimal and vice versa. So converting fraction and decimal into percent. Alright, so in the symbol percent is read as percent, right? Percent, which means per 100, okay, per 100 or out of 100. So for example, 41%, okay, 41% means 41 out of 100. Okay, 41 for every 100. So you can write it as 41 out of 100, 41 over 100. So this means 41%. So let's say there are 100 squares like this, 100 pieces. So 10 rows, 10 columns. So among this, if we select 1, 2, 3, okay, let's select 5, 4 and 5. So I selected 5 squares here. Then what's the percentage of this 5? It should be 5 out of what? 100, you know, or out of 100. So this is equal to 5%. Make sense? So if you select 7 out of 100, then that is 7%. Or 6%. What is 6%? That means you are taking 6 squares out of 100 squares. Right? Taking 6 pieces out of 100 pieces. That is 6%. So what if you take all 100 pieces out of 100? So if you are taking 100 pieces out of 100 pieces, then that is equal to what? 100%, isn't it? 100%. And then this 100% is equal to 1, right? 1. Why is it 1? Because 100 over 100 is 1, isn't it? 1. So 100% is equal to 1. Okay, and 1%, what is 1%? If you take 1 out of 100 pieces, then that is 1%, isn't it? 1%. Yeah, 1%. So this one shows a fraction and the percent relationship. And then 1%. So how about the decimal? Isn't it 0.01? Because you know 1 out of 100 is 0.01, right? 0.01. So 1% is equivalent to 0.01. How about 10%? So 10% is 10 out of 100, isn't it? This is 10%. Then what's the decimal? Then the decimal will be 0.1, right? 0.1. So 0.1 is 10%. You know, this is just a relationship between percent, fraction, and decimal. Alright, so let's convert a fraction to a decimal. Okay, convert a fraction to a decimal. Okay, this means 1 out of 100. Okay, 1 over 100. So in order to convert the fraction to a decimal, we would, you know, this is a fraction, right? Fraction. Fraction means you have a numerator and denominator. So the top part is the numerator. And then the bottom part is the denominator. So the fraction means you are dividing 1 by what? 100, right? 100. So actually, when you divide the numerator 1 by the denominator 100, then this is equal to 0.01. It's a fraction, it's a division, so just divide it. Then you get the decimal. Simple, right? Simple. So keep in mind that 1% is equivalent to, when you convert a 1% to a fraction, is 100, 1 over 100, or it is equal to 0.01. So converting a fraction to a decimal is simple, just divide it. Okay, now to write a percent. Now write a percent as a fraction. Okay, percent as a fraction. Look at this. Okay, for example, 50%. So I'm gonna write this 50% as a fraction. Then what we do is, do you remember the percent? You know, percent indicates, percent is 1%, is 1%. 1% is equal to 1 over 100. So just replace this percent. So replace the percent with what? 1 over 100. So remove the percent sign and then multiply the number by 1 over 100. So that is equal to 50 over 100, which is, when you reduce it, it becomes 1 over 2. Right? This is a fraction. So we just converted a percent to a fraction. Okay, so remove the percent and then multiply the number by 1 over 100. How about, can we convert percent to a decimal? Yes. What do we do? Same as converting percent to a fraction. So replace this percent with what? Instead of replacing it with 1 over 100, replace it with 0.01. Yes, 0.01. Simple. Because 1 over 100 is equal to 0.01, isn't it? 0.01. So, to write a percent as a decimal, remove the percent sign and multiply the number by 0.01. 0.01 is equal to what? 1 over 100, isn't it? So, or remove the sign and then so since you are multiplying 0.01, you are making the number smaller, right? Smaller. How much smaller? 2 decimal places to the left. So when you write 0.35%, 3500%, then replace the percent. So remove the percent and multiply by what? 0.01. So since you are multiplying 0.01, you can move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So 0.035. So move 2 to the left. It was over here, right? 1, 2. Was over here, so move 2 places to the right, to the left. Okay, or you can just do what? You can just, from here, you can just move the decimal point 2 to the left. 1, 2 to the left, like this. So by removing the percent sign, percent symbol, move the decimal point 2 to the left, because you are multiplying 0.1, make this number smaller, right? Smaller, because you are multiplying this number by less than 1, right? Less than 1. So the number has to be smaller. Okay, try more. Okay, how about 1.21%? So let's write this one in a decimal. Okay, so 121, right? So move this decimal point 2 to the left. So it is this one, 0.0121. Simple, isn't it? So what if we have still something like this? 123%. Then this one will be, so move the decimal point 2 to the left. Oh my god, so many zeros, isn't it? So the decimal point was over here, right? Over here. So I'm gonna move it 2 to the left. 1, 2 to the left. 2 decimal places to the left. So this one should be equal to this. All right. Okay, now back to now to write a fraction. This time we want to write a fraction or a decimal as a percent. Then what do we do? This is really simple. What you have to do is multiply the number by 100%. Look at this. 100%. When you write 100% in decimal, it will be 1. The decimal number is 1. So 1 represents 100%. So it is okay that you multiply 1/4. Okay, write 1/4 as a percent. That means 1/4 times 1 is still 1. This is still what? 1/4, isn't it? 1/4 is equal to 1 over 4 times 1. Still same, right? Okay. Then as you see this, 1 is equal to 1 over 100 over 100. 1 over 100 is equal to 100, right? So 100% is equivalent to 1. Always keep in mind this. 100% is equal to the decimal number 1. So you can make this one as just multiply 100%. Simple. Just multiply the number by 100%. Then simplify. This is 100 over 4, right? So that is equal to 25%. And then simplify. Simple, it's very simple. How about 0.12? Well, this is a decimal. Okay, this is decimal. Okay, decimal is later, so let's convert the fraction. How about 1/5? So I have a 1/5, then the 1/5 is equal to what? 1/5 times 100%. So that is equal to 100 over 5. This is 100 over 5%. And then reduce it, so it becomes 20%. Okay, so this is really simple. Converting a number to a percent is really simple because just multiply the number by 100%. 100%. Okay, when you write a decimal as a percent, same thing. You can multiply this number by what? 100%, right? 1%. So multiply this by 100%. So when you multiply this 100, you are making this number larger. How larger? Move two decimal places to the right. So it will be 178%. Okay, so let's try another example. How about 0.12? 0.12 is equal to how many percent? This should be 12%, right? Because 0.12 multiplied by 100%. So multiply by 100. So move the decimal point two places to where? To the right? To the right, because we want to make this number larger. So it will be 12%. How about 0.8? Okay, 0.8. Then 0.8 times 100%. So move two decimal places to the right. Then it will be 80, so 80%. How about 1.21? Then 1.21 is multiply this number by 100, so it will be 121%. Okay, so that's it for this section. It's a really simple section, and then don't get confused. When you convert a decimal to a percent, just multiply 100%. That is really simple, right? And if you want to convert from percent to a decimal, then what do? Remove the percent and then multiply the number by 0.01. Because 1% is equal to 0.01, right? Or if you want to convert percent to a fraction, then replace this percent with what? 1 over 100. So instead of multiplying 0.01, multiply the number by 1 over 100 for fraction. Because 1% is equivalent to what? 1 over 100 as a fraction, and 0.01 as a what? Decimal. So just replace this percent with this fraction or this decimal. Simple. Okay, so please do the exercise questions, and then you need to practice a lot. All right, the concept is really simple, so please practice by doing the exercise questions in the exercise.